some things do stay the same, though. The back four, the same as last game, their win against Denver last weekend. The left back, Izzy Rodriguez. It's also Shaboshi's first start this year. That means everyone needs to be on the same page from the opening whistle to deal with the rotation, the threat of Kansas City's attackers.
Nabil Ben Salah has the whistle. It's about an hour late, but we're ready to roll tonight in Central Florida. Rivalry week in the NWSL. Glides by White, offers the service all the way through to the backside. Recovered by Dyke. Circles back to Angelina. He's already pulled the trigger twice from out there. This time, delightful cross! And the header above. So header snapped away. Valle brings it in.
Oh, it's good positioning from Izzy Rodriguez. Picks up the ball beyond that first line of pressure.
Oh, awful giveaway. Debinha leads it over. Hopkins.
And her momentum is just taking her away behind the back line instead, slices through it, comes underneath it, but then they're able to regain pressure or possession with their pressure. And then right there, just the first look, obviously, when you have a player of Shawinga's caliber, is going to be able to play her to her feet, let her go, or get in behind. But then without her, they had to find different ways. We're starting to see that now more clearly.
Bethune won't bother Morehouse all that much. This finds Corey Dyke. Valle on her horse trying to get forward. Here's Dyke. Bring that back to the penalty spot. It's above the crossbar in the end. That's as enticing a look.
I know this has to be in the back of the net, but it's really well sequenced. And you just see how quickly the back line for Kansas City drops. And it all starts with the movement of Marta.
Hopkins swerves it outside. White. Bello pushes up. This will find Debinha. Debinha! Morehouse the save. Good bit of control from Debinha, and she unloaded.
It's because she wasn't expecting a player to take a touch and then a second hit. In that circumstance, so many times a player would take this down and need multiple touches, and Debinha just brings it under her spell with a perfect prep touch to fire this one on frame, and Morehouse in a good position.
In behind for Debinha. First touch a little long. Debinha still got around. Taps in. The opening goal is waved off. It is offside. It will not count. And Hopkins' goal wiped away.
Get down. And that's going to be a tough angle for us to really see. But I do think potentially Debinha is offside. And that little touch right there, because it does take a bounce, gives Shabossi the opportunity to get on the back shoulder of one of those.
Rodriguez hangs that up. It's Bethune. Not enough on that to beat Morehouse. The placement was right. The power was off.
Nothing that's really going to test Morehouse. But you like that early ball. They've looked for.
Continues through the sliding challenge of Robinson. Ovalle. That's caught by Jordan and does not allow a rebound, and Marta was waiting. Plays on to Labonta, spins the cross. Shabossi didn't get much of a head to that. Hopkins, Ovalle prods it free into Labonta, drops it down, give and go with Debinha. Labonta! And that should be the last real action of the half.
For Debinha, it's a quick little 1-2. There's the repass, the positioning behind the ball, so they're able to keep it alive. But that first touch right there from Labonta allows her just to get a step on her defender, Dyke. Just in the last second, feels the pressure, slices through it, really can't commit to a clean opportunity on it, as that's going to be halftime.
So scoreless at the break on what's turned into a beautiful Central Florida night. Women's Africa Cup of Nations, watching to see Shawinga continue her torrid goal-scoring form.
Opens up a little space, and then the right-of-weighted pass from Bethune, but an early ball to try to find Shawinga.
Ovalle on the other end, chops it back to Marta. That's a lot of time for Marta! Her 50th goal for Orlando! It is the most familiar sight to a Pride fan since April 2025.
And I had just mentioned the quick attack for Kansas City down the other end. but because they're dispossessed, good work defensively, then they're stretched offensively for Kansas City. But just look at the amount of time that Marta has to be able to get this ball out from underneath her foot and then be able just to nail this ball into that far corner. Initially it looked like Jordan was just slow to react, but she's actually screened, and maybe the slightest of deflection from Robinson in the end. But that is a...
Limos, header, stepped in! Orlando's got their second. Hannah Anderson doubles the money for the Pride.
Your attacker, the opportunity. But defensively, look at this from Kansas City. No one actually picks up Anderson. You have two.
Header steered as far as Bethune. Danger's not over yet. Bethune ahead. Chewinga back. Bethune. Banda. 18 years older in Alaska and was actually in for the last week. Enjoyed her company. Here's Bethune. Bethune, tight angle. Eventually Morehouse knocks that down, and Bethune watches this over the line. It'll be a corner. Hocking, Chewinga. Offers the cross. Sharples. The center back still forward from the set piece, nods it over.
They've got to just sit back, get numbers back behind the ball, and then Kansas City has to evade all of this pressure again, build through all this pressure of the Orlando Pride, who's in these nice, tight, compact shapes.
That is such a clever ball from Bethune. Just tapped it, deadened it, and then put it back in play.
Just keep your eye on the hair.
I was also like, Sharples is a good foot taller than Bailey Price.
I'm just, hey, you know, hit by Mace. Collective by Jordan. Not me.
Listen, you talk to Jill down on the sidelines, but this is where Orlando will be happy to get Haley Mace, because we have seen this to unleash some shots, and doing a good job so far coming into this game.
Rouse service falls to Paul. Paul pulls it, and there's Morehouse. Simple stop in the end.
We said coming in how important her positioning was going to be for this team. She dropped in at the right moments. It made it uncomfortable for the back line, but also the midfield for Kansas City, because no one really knew how to pick her up or when to pick her up. As here comes Banda.
Here we go. Barbara Banda takes us on an adventure. Banda into the penalty area. Is there a worse feeling for a center back than what Kayla Sharples just experienced?
Right, and a better feeling for us, because I wasn't sure if we were going to see her with the first few touches.
It's going to impact their midfield the rest of the season in a major way. Falls to Chewinga. It's a worm burner. Morehouse scoops it up. Bad giveaway. Bethune. Right place, right time for Morehouse in the end. Bethune was up in Atlanta last night. Saw Angela Reese put up another double-double. Here comes Barbara Banda. Oh, Jordan lost it. Banda taps it in. Barbara Banda, every goalkeeper's nightmare. And for number 11, number 12 on the year.
Job of coming off, staying connected to her two center backs, but just in the last second you can see, takes her eye off the ball, slices to it, too big of a swing.
Izzy Rodriguez! Snapped down by Morehouse, holds the clean sheet. I don't know if we get this trio together again, but it's both too soon and not far enough. Here comes Chewinga. Chewinga lacing wide.
Really not an Orlando team that had been identifiable so far this season, but have shown well tonight.
Up for Chewinga. And this is only going to be the second loss for Kansas City in their last 8 regular season games. So context-wise,
and Jill can speak to this a little bit better, but that is just a learning curve of players. When you don't have a ton of experience, these are some of the trials and tribulations you have to go through, and she's ultimately going to be better for it.
The final whistle tonight. Marta backs number 50 as a Pride star.